Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in the next 3 minutes, let's take a look at 1 Kings chapter 9 and 2 Chronicles chapter 8. Together, these record what happened after Solomon completed the temple and his palace. It's a turning point, God's response to Solomon's work. Here, we're going to see both blessing and early signs that trouble is brewing. Okay, let's take a look at 1 Kings 9, God's warning and Solomon's achievements. After Solomon finishes rebuilding the temple and his royal palace, God appears to him a second time, much like he did at Gibeon in 1 Kings 3. He says in verse 3 of chapter 9, "I have heard your prayer and your plea. I have consecrated this house. My eyes and my heart will be there for all time." God's promise is his presence will dwell in the temple as long as Solomon and his descendants remain faithful. But if Israel turns away to other gods, God will remove his presence, and the temple will become a ruin and a simple word of the past. This is pretty significant because God both gives reassurance and a clear warning. He values faithfulness more than buildings. So many of Solomon's accomplishments are listed. He gives King Hiram of Tyre 20 towns in Galilee and as thanks for cedar, gold, and labor. Solomon imposes forced labor on remaining non-Israelites in the land, something God warned against in Deuteronomy. He builds major cities and fortifies the kingdom. He builds a fleet of ships with Hiram's help, beginning international trade and bringing a vast wealth. As we move into 2 Chronicles chapter 8, we see this from a different perspective. This chapter is going to very much mirror chapter 9 of 1 Kings, but supplement it with a little bit of details that focus on Solomon's achievements. Solomon rebuilds several cities and makes them centers for administration, storage, and military defense. He strengthens the infrastructure of Israel, positioning it as a rising power. Like Kings, it notes Solomon used non-Israelite labor forces for his projects. Israelites served in military and leadership roles. When we look to the temple worship, we see that Solomon honors the worship system David established: priests, Levites, gatekeepers, music, sacrifices. The temple isn't just a building, it's functioning as the heart of Israel's spiritual lives. Solomon is also going to partner with Hiram, as we talked about in 1 Kings 9, to send ships from Ezion-Geber to Ophir. They bring back tons of gold, literally tons of gold. This chapter paints Solomon as a wise and faithful administrator, expanding the kingdom and honoring God's design for worship. Solomon's reign is a mix of faithfulness and a foreshadowing of a failure. God is not impressed by outward success if inward faithfulness fades. That's something for us to hold on to today. Be well, friends.